Hey Eagles, it's me, Terry Krueger, the sweetest psychopath you'll ever meet, and welcome back to my channel. Hey ghouls, what's up? And I'm back with a story time. Before we get started, I just want to address that yes, this is embarrassing because I'm doing a video talking about my time working for this porn industry thing, and I have psoriasis and a lot of other kind of skin issues. And right now, I am breaking out all over my neck and my chest and my stomach, so it looks pretty gross. I don't know if I'm having an allergic reaction to something or if my skin's just acting up because of the weather change. That does happen a lot when you have like psoriasis or this kind of skin conditions. So please try to ignore the grossness. I've tried to cover it up as much as I can, but anyways, let's get started. So I did work for this porn company locally back in I was like maybe 18 or 19 years old. And I remember I was just so like intrigued by this place, and I don't know why. I was just kind of like, I guess because I wasn't like a sheltered little nerd. I was honestly like, thrown into there way early. I was exposed to a lot of like adult content that I shouldn't have been probably seen at my age when I was younger. But I guess because it was just so dirty, so smut, and at the time I was going through this like John Waters obsession, so I loved filth and everything like that. So I ended up getting a job working for this porn company. And I remember everyone in my family, all my friends were like, don't do it, it's fucking disgusting, you're gonna hate it, it's gross. And they also were really like cautious of me working there because I was fresh out of like high school and I looked like this just innocent young little boy going into this industry to work for like the most filthiest fucking disgusting people I've ever met. Don't get me wrong, like more than half of those people were fucking like were gross and repulsive. There was a handful that were really sweet, genuine, nice people who just, had to do what they had to do at the time. And I actually still talk to a lot of them today. But I'm not gonna say the name of the company because I don't want to get sued. And a lot of shit went on down there. And I decided, like, I always tell these stories to people at parties when the conversation comes up to like this subject of porn. And I'm like, why don't I just share it with all of you on YouTube? I was actually only working for this company for like about 6 months. And one night I finally was able to, like, they had me working alone and they had me in one of the big locations. So upstairs they had the arcade in the back. The upstairs was like the novelties, the sex toys, the movies, and all that shit. And then downstairs was an even bigger arcade that kind of had like mini theater-sized rooms all over the place. I remember towards like 10 minutes before we were closing, like at 3 in the morning, the thing was to do is you try to just go to the entrance of like the arcades and just yell like 10 minutes, clean it up, we're closing. I had gone downstairs to like do a room check to make sure they were all empty, and one of the rooms in the very far corner, I noticed the red light was still on, which indicated that a film was playing in there. And sometimes, like they probably put too much money in the thing, they didn't have enough time to finish it because I kicked everyone out. But I opened the door, and on the floor was seriously like this 400-pound man who had stripped himself completely naked, just fucking like shampooed on a beach there, like spread out on the floor. And I was just so like, oh my god. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was so like taken away by like what I was seeing, and I was kind of just like, oh. And I didn't want to like touch him because I mean, he's a 400-pound naked man on the room of a porn theater. That's disgusting. I wouldn't, like, it was so disgusting there. I had a special pair of shoes that I would wear to that job, and when I would leave, I would take them off, throw them in my trunk, and put on new shoes because I did not want to walk. I did not want to have those things walking through my fucking house. So the only thing I thought to do was to kick him in the shoulder and kick him in his chest on those big old titties that were up. And he like was not waking up. I was like, is this dude dead? So well, the last time I was just getting freaked out and I was tired and I wanted to go home, so I just remember kicking him really fucking hard. I was like, get him, dude! And he fucking popped up and got all scared, and I was like, you need to get the fuck. And then like my little gay ass at 18 trying to like be all butch, I was like, you need to get the fuck out of here, dude. And he was just kind of like, okay, scrambling to get his clothes up. So I ran upstairs and I kind of hid behind the counter, and I was just kind of like waiting behind there like, oh my god, just let him get out and leave. He was taking so fucking long, like 10 minutes had passed and I did not see him. So I go back downstairs and I open the door to that room and it's empty. Right then and there, I'm kind of like, holy shit, if the wall wasn't disgusting, I would have been back to wall, because I was like, where the fuck is this dude? Then I hear all this like rumbling and crashing going on, and I look and he's at the very fucking end of the hallway, and I guess he thought it was an exit, but he was so fucked up, I don't even know on what, and he was like trying to like get into the utility closet as an exit or to hide. And then again, I just like from far away like trying to butch it up like, get the fuck out of here, dude. And then I ran back upstairs, and then eventually he did stumble his way out. In the arcade rooms, obviously you're supposed to go and like preview the movies or like sample out the movies. It's like these private little rooms for people to jerk off, and a lot of dudes would just kind of like hook up in there, you know, fuck around and, you know, leave and go back to their normal lives after they were doing whatever they were doing. I saw so many high school teachers of mine coming into that place with some of the straight male students, and I was like, bitch, what the fuck? Oh my god, I was so like, I thought that fool was straight. And no, like he'd be back there. One time, being a little creep, I did kind of like follow to the room to see if they had just kind of like accident, like if they kind of just kind of on coincidence walked in together. But no, one of the teachers, oh my god, I think he was like maybe a math teacher or science teacher, bitch, I don't remember, but he was one. I remember the dude he went to, I had gone through like middle school and high school with this dude, and he was always such a fucking douchebag, and he would always like talk shit to me for being a faggot and whatever. But I saw him walk right into the room with that older man who was our teacher, and I was like, ah, bitch, crazy ass shit. I remember I ran to the front and I got my phone and I was texting my best friend like, bitch, you'll never guess who's sucking Mr. his dick right now. And then, oh my god, they would frequent there a lot. But I think for me, one of the most gaggiest moments was there was this girl I was friends with in high school, and I remember she would always talk to me because she always swore that her boyfriend was cheating on her and fucking all these other girls, and she would even ask to borrow my phone, and then she would pretend to be a different girl and text him and see what he would say. And surprisingly, she was always like, oh wow, he isn't responding to like me pretending to be another girl, texting him from other phones. But then in reality, girl, he was actually fucking other dudes. So as I was also working there, I would see him always come in, and he would kind of cruise the area, and then the minute someone invited him in, he would go in. And this dude was there like every other day, I swear. And I did end up making friends with a lot of what like we called the cruisers. They were like guys who were there on the regulars who would just kind of always like wait around to see who would go back there and fuck. I did make friends with a few of them because I am just a genuinely friendly person and make friends with like everybody. And of course the guys would always come because they would buy like condoms, they'd buy lube and whatever, and then take it to the back and do whatever. So one time I did see this guy, and he would frequent like this little, I guess, gangbang sesh in one of the rooms, and he would always go in and but they'd be in there for quite a while. So one of the guys that I had actually kind of made friends with, and then I did ask him like, hey, I have a question for you. You know that dude who you guys went in there with, like, what's the tea like? I just know from high school, and I'm a perv. I'm a bit curious. What's going on? He's like, oh, he likes to get trains run on him. He likes us all to like fucking tag team and go take turns on him. He loves to get filled up and then leave. And I'm like, oh my god, I was so like, what the fuck? And then there I was, right back to my phone to text my friend again, like, girl, guess who else? But oh my god, I think that guy eventually like came out of the closet, but I have no idea. I really don't know what happened to him. But yeah, that was one of the biggest shockers, and I was like, girl, what? Also, I would get hit on a lot there. Like, I was this skinny little 18-year-old boy, and I remember one time there was this guy who would always stop by, and he would go into the theater, and he would tell me that his favorite thing to do was just go down the line of all the dudes that were sitting there and just blow each and every one of them. And I remember one time he came out, and he asked me if he could take me to the bathroom and me. And I was like, No. And then the funniest thing is I'm just kind of sitting there, he kept bugging and bugging to like go down on me, and I was just kind of like, what? Like, all I was like staring at was his shirt that said "World's Greatest Dad." I remember one time I actually did kind of slightly get attacked, and I remember I was kind of walking through the back, and the door opened a crack, and some guy was like, hey. And I kind of was just like, okay, just keep looking forward and keep walking. His door to his little room was right next to the door that led to the back room, and as I was like unlocking it, because we had locked with a key, he reached out of the door, grabbed my arm, and tried to yank me into the fucking booth with him. And bitch, I never thought I could throw hands so hard, but I fucking went crazy, just fucking like beating the shit out of his fucking face and kicking him off me. And then I was like, I didn't really know what to do at that point, so I had run to the front, and then I called my boss. And I was like, "Yo, someone just tried to fucking yank me into the fucking like booth with them." And he's like, "Why the fuck are you calling me? Call the police." And I was like, oh, "Okay." But as I was hung up with him to like pick up the phone again, that dude just ran out of the store like fucking crazy, and I never saw that dude again. Say, what risque things that I get into? So a lot of straight men that were on the down low, so not really straight. Oh my god, I'm not James Charles. I don't hunt down straight men. All the straight men that I've ever encountered have all always approached me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there was times where like these really handsome men would walk in, and then they would see me and talk to me, and they would be like, "So what do you do?" And I'm just like, "Nothing, I'm just like, I just got out of high school." And they'd be like, "Nice." And then they, of course, they would give me their numbers. There's some guys, I'm not gonna lie, they were fucking hot, and I would go like hang out with them when I would get out of work and whatnot. And of course, we did some things. Back to the porn stars. So that's the company itself was really fucking scummy. Like I remember one of the girls I did work with. I still talk to her this day too. She actually was working like in the middle of the night, and some guy attacked her, but this bitch was a tough ass girl, and she fought that dude off. She seriously broke her leg kicking this dude off of her, and called the police, called an ambulance. They had to take her away because she fucking broke her leg in the process. And she tried to, and then the company didn't want to pay for anything, so they said that she abandoned her position when the ambulance took her away. So she sued their fucking ass, and she got a ton of money. She won, so good for her. Holler, get your shit. But yeah, I was like, fuck this shady ass company. But I remember it didn't take long for me to really get over this job, and I fucking hated it. And I don't know why I even stayed for as long as I did. Like, I was so miserable there, and I hated it there so fucking much. And everyone just kept telling me, like, why don't you just quit? You don't need a job, like, just quit. But I've never been the type to just like quit or anything. Like, I was like, no, I'm gonna do my job and I'm gonna stay here. I remember one of the last things that happened that kind of had really done it for me was working kind of like late at night. And I remember this dude kind of came in, and he just had like, it looked like he had like orange like workout pants on and a big black jacket, and he creeped me the fuck out. Like, he walked to the back room. I remember me and my friends were just talking, and I'm just texting him, and then I kind of slowly look up because I felt someone looking at me, and I kind of looked over to the side, and this dude was just staring at me, the one who was wearing like the sweatpants with the big black coat on, and I was kind of like, what the fuck? And I don't know if you've seen Purge First, and the guy they called Skeletor, he kind of looked like that. So imagine someone crazy like that just staring at you from the corner of the fucking door of like the little entrance room, and I was like, oh my god, like what the hell? And I kind of just like would ignore him. And then I remember I had to go back there because for some reason in all these fucking locations, our break room was always in the back. And I remember I was kind of nervous, so I just like went back real quick, and I didn't see him anywhere, so I figured he had gone to one of the rooms. And after that, like, I get out and I'm kind of standing by the register, and then it was like, it fucking scared the shit out of me. Then I hear like a whistle, and I look up, and he's standing behind like one of the shelves that is right next to the register where I'm standing, and I kind of like, holy shit, like what do you want? And then he just kind of like looked at me and kind of like tried to like, hey, come to the back. And I was like, fuck no, fool, you're scary as shit. Like, I usually like creeps, but not that creepy. Because I remember this location actually had the giant theater inside, and you would pay a certain amount and you could go into the theater, and the theater was pitch black. The only thing you could see was the screen, and he eventually just wandered off into there, stayed maybe about like almost an hour total from him creeping around to going in there and then leaving. And then I remember it was about 2:30, and I was like counting down the time because it was almost 3 a.m. and I wanted to leave when police walked into the store, and they asked me if I had seen the description of this man, and I was just like, yeah, like he was in the back rooms, and apparently he had escaped from the prison that wasn't too far from where we were located. And I was like, oh my god. And then I don't know if it's true because I don't know too much, but someone told me that an orange jumpsuit means he was in there for murder. And I was all like, wow, that's hot. So I was like, wow, this dude was like creeping up on me. I'm like, did he just want to fuck around or did he want to kill me too? I don't know. But I'm glad I didn't fucking encounter him when I had gone to the back room to get whatever I had needed for whatever reason. So yeah, that was my time in the porn industry here. So that job really sucked the life out of you, just like all the men who would always want to suck other things out of me. I'll never forget that man in his Greatest Dads t-shirt. But anyways, that was my time in the porn industry. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me. Smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to hang out with me in between uploads, you could follow me on Instagram. That's Terror_Krueger. I'll leave it down in the description below. But until then, I'll see you ghouls later.